Good morning, folks. First jump of the day just went by. That was Doug Jordan, jump number one. Doug put up a jump score there of Blake Ehlers. What was on the jump box? 12.2 for Doug Jordan's first jump. Heather Bonnie up bright and early, all the way from Perth. Bonnie's Five Lakes and Baldivis. Good luck, everyone. Good to see everyone tuning in. Barefoot Brucey, all the way from down south, and Tassie is watching. Bruce, mate, hope you're doing well. What is it? Golly, it's like, what? I don't even know. It's like 4 a.m. Anybody on site? I see Dan Baumgartner. Danny Baumgartner? No, that's Jorge. Just another bald dude. Anybody have Dan Baumgartner's phone number? All right, so Landon Ehlers coming in for jump number 2 here. Put up a jump of 19.3 yesterday in the prelims. He's going to be wanting to go over 20 meters here, so let's see Landon. Oh! Gets a little bit sideways there. Gives a wave. Hey, big dog! Start a bit sooner and push more. Yeah, we can see on the replay there, you look at Landon's knees, they're just a little bent and collapsed off the top on that replay. Really needs to just push through that ramp. 9 p.m. for Tasmania. So, guys, I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say it again. But if the stream cuts out, it's not a big deal. We will be back up and running. Just like that.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're late to the party here this morning. I see this thing's already up and running. Looks like we got Landon Ehlers out there jumping. I'm not sure who else is jumping right now. Doug Jordan, okay. If somebody can get me updated where we're at right now. Landon has jumped. How many jumps so far? Okay, Doug is doing his last jump. Anybody got his best score? 14.2. 14.2 is Doug's best score. If I can get somebody here to get the scores, write down the scores for me, this would be awesome. This is the finals, the final event right here. Doug Jordan's coming in for his third jump. Here he comes. Coming into the ramp. Oh, he got a pretty good pop. I don't know if that's going to beat his 14.4, but that looked like a pretty good jump. We'll wait for the score. Are you gonna? I need somebody to. Okay, we're gonna get everybody up to speed here. Once I get up to speed with everything. Okay, 14.8 was his best jump. That was 13.2, so 14.8 is the one that's going to stick. So Doug Jordan, I'm sure he'll be happy with that, 14.8. And he's in the open division, so I'm going to get Landon's biggest jump so far. He's got one more jump to go. And this is the open division. This is for the gold medal, folks. So Landon hasn't landed anything yet. He's got 2 goose eggs on the board, so he needs to land this one. So Landon Ehlers needs to put this one on the board, his final jump. Otherwise, he'll be out of the medal contention. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 open men skiers competing for the gold, silver, and bronze. So this is a lot of pressure on Landon here, man. I'll tell you, he needs to land one, put one on the board, and he needs to go over 14 meters to get ahead of Doug Jordan here. So this ought to be interesting. Chats from Australia. All right, he joined in. Hey, Chats, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, he's logging in to watch this jumping event. Here comes Landon for his final jump. He needs to put this one on the board. Come on, Landon. Oh, he's upside down. He got the big goose egg. Landon. 0 and a 0 and a 0. So he's got nothing on the board, so that's going to guarantee Doug Jordan a bronze medal at least, I believe, because we only got 2 more jumpers here in the open division. We got Chris McWaters and Dan Baumgartner. Chris McWaters and Dan Baumgartner. This is for the gold medal, folks. This is for the National Open Championship. Thank you, buddy. Okay, guys, this is going to be interesting here today. This is where all the marbles are at today. All right, we got a lot of activity going on here. We got drones flying around. We got boats coming up and down. We got people in and out. Things are happening here, folks, this morning. Chats from Australia. Chats says, I'll tell you, Chats doing one hell of a job with these kids out there in Australia. He's figuring out this jumping stuff. I called Chats about 2 weeks ago, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I had a good chat with him out there. And I picked his brain to see what the hell he's doing out there with these kids. And he's doing a phenomenal job. And I guarantee you he was watching David Smalls jump yesterday. I guarantee you that. But Chat's a great coach out there in Australia. He's down in the Sydney area, I believe, right?
Yeah, down New South Wales. Skis for the club down there in New South Wales.
He works with TJ and he works with Connor Rogers and some of these other kids. And he's watching. He's watching. Good for you, Chats.
I see we got Michelle Val on there, all the way from Holland. Tuning in all the way from Europe, watching this. I think they got a tournament out in Europe at the moment, the Scandinavians. Did you see Evert Artson jump 26.9 meters?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, just yesterday.
26.9 meters for Junior, Artson Jr. That is phenomenal. That kid can jump, too. He's a good jumper, that
That's
kid.
a big jump.
Wow, good for Junior. Congratulations, Junior, if you're hearing or what have you. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, I just saw that yesterday. Jackie St. Onge watching all the way from New Hampshire. That's the actual connection between you and Keith.
Okay, this is what? Is this Chris?
This is Chris McWaters, jump number 1.
All right, guys, this is for the gold medal, man. This is for the national championship. Here comes Chris for his first jump, and he rides it away. He rides it away. I don't know. That's probably going to be like a 16-meter jump, probably.
I'm going to guess right around high 16s to 17.
Yeah, it's not a big jump, but he puts one on the board.
It guarantees him the silver medal.
It guarantees him the silver medal. He'll definitely move ahead of Doug Jordan's 14.6.
Oh, Ricky Bruce. We got Ricky Bruce watching, Ryan Boyd, Brad Braithwaite. Ryan Boyd, I don't know why you're watching. You should be driving down here.
All right. We're waiting for the score to come in. 16.3 meters for Chris McWaters. 16.3 meters. So that puts Chris McWaters in the number 1 position. Him and Dan Baumgartner is going to be battling it out for the gold medal here for the championship. That's at least he put one on the board and he put himself in a good position. He's got 2 more jumps to better that. Dan yesterday jumped to what? 18.8 meters.
It's a tight competition. Danny had an 18.8 and Chris had an 18.2. So they're pretty tight together in there. We got Marianne looking to come down and watch. Marianne, we're in Polk City, Florida,
All right
off of I-4.
Here comes Dan Baumgartner for his first jump. He's coming into the ramp. He's squared. Looks like a pretty good jump.
Wow, that was tidy.
That looks like that was probably around 18 meters, huh?
Yeah, I'd say that's right on the 18 mark. For those of you watching on site, just for a reference point, our first line of buoys 7 meters. Our second line is 19, and our third line out there is 30. So if you're landing right where Danny landed there on that 19 buoy mark, you're probably jumping in that 18 to 19 range.
Chris, if you can hear me, you got to keep the eyes over the ramp and keep your shoulders back, please. Is David over there working with him? I can't see. Oh, Smalls, he's working with him. Okay. Oh, Jason's down here. All right.
18.1 for Danny Baumgartner there. Look at the landing here. Really nice and steady on the replay. Really smooth coming down top of his feet. Luke Vandenheuvel, he lives back in Mackay. He's from the same place as Ash Stebbings. I see Luke's just started getting back into the skiing. Nice ski, all 4 turns, all that kind of stuff.
Ryan Boyd just gave us a thumbs up. I heard he's coming down here today to visit us. I hope he does, with Big Bad Ryan. So Dan Baumgartner, 18.1. Chris McWaters, 16.3. Doug Jordan, 14.8. So Doug is going to have the bronze. That's guaranteed. Now we're fighting for the gold and silver. Dan Baumgartner right now is getting the lead. Chris has got to beat 18.1 to bypass Dan. This is the battle for the National Open Gold Medal champion. Chats made a comment about David yesterday. He says David does only what David can do, and he's absolutely right. David Small's got a. We don't even teach people to jump like David because only David can do it the way David does it. I mean, David is unique. David has got it figured out, but we can't get anybody else to do what he does.
Speaking of not jumping like David Small, here comes Chris McWaters for jump number 2. Oh, really lunged on the ramp on that one.
Oh,
Small.
yeah,
What do you think of that?
Yeah. He lunged big time. That was no better than the one before. That's probably about 16 meters, but yeah, he just totally lunged. 15.5 meters. 15.5 meters on that one.
All right, so pressure's going to be on Chris now. Doesn't matter what Danny does. Danny can only push past his already gold medal position at 18-1. Chris has got one jump left to try and jump at least 18-1 just to try and get ahead into that gold medal position.
Especially after the way you draw your artistic pieces on the table last night.
It was not this bright.
Yeah.
But I looked at it, it was flat. I looked at the water and that thing on that. Alrighty, folks. Eyes on the water right now. Gold medal position. Danny Baumgartner coming in for jump number 2. He's got an 18.1 on the board. We know he can go further than that. Let's see what he does on the second jump here. Nice little layout on the jump. Still kind of comes forward and tumbles away from the landing. I'm going to guess that was in the high 17s. Probably not quite that 18 mark.
Okay, there's a commercial now, so you don't talk, right?
No, that's the stop here. Ignore that. That's 2 minutes behind.
All right, Dan Baumgartner got a 17.8 meter miss. So, guys, we are down. This is for the gold medal right here. This is for the gold medal. We're down to the last 2 jumps. Dan Baumgartner right now has got 18.1 meters. Chris McWaters right now has got a 16.3 meters. That's gold and silver. So the pressure's on Chris. This is Chris's last jump. If he beats 18.1 meters, he'll be in first place, and Dan Baumgartner's going to have one more shot. If Chris doesn't jump 18.1 meters, Dan Baumgartner will be your National Open champion. Here comes Chris now. The pressure's on. He needs 18.1 meters is what he needs. Okay, so here comes Chris. Let's see if he can keep his eyes up over that ramp and see if he can take his time. Here he comes. Much better jump. Much better jump. Whoa, that's going to be close. That could put him in the lead and put pressure on Dan Baumgartner. Whoa, time will tell. Who's got the walkie-talkie? 19.5 meters. 19.5 meters. That puts him in the lead. Dan Baumgartner's got one more shot. Cheer on Dan Baumgartner, guys. 19.5 meters is what Dan Baumgartner's got to beat for this gold medal. Chris McWaters pulls it off in a clutch. Dan Baumgartner's got one more shot. He's got one more shot to take it back away. We are off and running, guys. Talking about some exciting tournament already. We already got a real tight competition going on between Chris McWaters and Dan Baumgartner. This is for the gold medal right here, guys. Everything on the line. One more jump. This is it. Dan Baumgartner's PB yesterday was 18.8 meters, and today it's 18.1 meters. All right, we're waiting for Dan to come down. This is Dan. It's do or die. He's got to go for it all. Anything smaller than 19.5 does him no good whatsoever. Can Dan Baumgartner pull it off, or is Chris McWaters going to be your National Open gold medal winner? Here comes Dan. He's coming into the course. He is cutting out. He's cutting out, lining up. He's going to wait for the ramp. There it is. Oh, he's up over. Up and over. So Chris McWaters is your National Open champion. Dan, are you all right, Dan Baumgartner? He's swimming in. He's fine. What a competition between Dan Baumgartner and Chris McWaters. Congratulations to Dan. Congratulations to Chris McWaters. Great competition, guys. Chris McWaters will be your national jump champion in the open division. Dan Baumgartner will be taking the silver medal. Doug Jordan will be taking the bronze medal. Congratulations, guys, all three of you guys. All right, guys, we're going to be getting into the Open International and Open Pro division. And I'll tell you, there's a lot on the line here. This is the U.S. Nationals, right? And we have got Keith St. Ange, who is the legend in the sport. Been doing this for a long time, and I think the number is 17. Keith has won 17 U.S. National Championships, more than any other skier in the history of the U.S. Nationals. All right? Keith has done it all. He's been the legend. And he's got 17. I'm not sure how many of those are in a row, but he's got quite a few in a row. But he is fighting. He is fighting this year with Jackson Gerard. Young Jack. Here comes the first skier in the water. This is William Lee. Nice jump, William. William Lee. That looked like it was about the 20-meter mark, maybe 20, 21.
I'd say high 20s.
Between 20 and 21 meters would be my guess. That's a good opening jump for William. So while we're waiting for the score on that, getting back to Jackson and Keith, they are fighting for the overall. 20 meters flat for William. 20 meters flat for William. Lee. Okay, here comes Brody Meskis for his first jump. Brody Meskis for his first jump in the Open Pro division. And Brody launches it. He rides it away. That looks like it's going to be
I'd say it was
about 21, huh?
I'd
20,
say mid-19s.
Really?
Remember those boys there are 19 meters.
19 meters, okay. Those buoys are usually 20, I thought, but they're 19. So.
Yeah, everyone's different.
All right, so those buoys are probably 19. So we're going to wait. That's probably around 19, 20 meters for Brody.
I would guess so. We look at the slow-mo here, Swab, as he comes off that ramp. What do you see there?
Well, he obviously split. He didn't use the whole ramp.
Nope. 19.6.
19.6. 19.6 for Brody. All right.
We got one guy in Open Pro, one guy in International. They're not technically competing, but these two guys ski together, train together, and they're jumping right around the same distance. So they've probably got a little competition going between the two of them. Who can go furthest?
Yeah, and Brody's got a PB. He hit a PB at the Midwest Regionals at 23.2 meters. So he wants to go up there around that 23 meter mark.
That's a big jump.
And he wants to try to compete with the big boys here. But I want to follow up with Jackson and Keith right now. Why this jump competition is so important for both of them. Not only for the gold medal here for the for the Open Pro division, but they're competing for the overall. Jackson currently is about 30 overall points ahead of Keith, and Keith has not lost a national championship for the overall in years.
I mean, what, 18, 17 years?
17 years or something, and it's only 30 overall points. So
it's probably safe to say that Keith has been winning national titles longer than Jackson's been breathing.
He has. Actually, yeah. Here comes Williams for a second jump. We'll follow up with this later as we go on, but here comes Williams for a second jump. Oh, yeah, he didn't. What happened there, Ben? He
looked
off.
like he totally froze and just came forward on the ramp there. We'll see that again on the replay in a minute here.
I didn't see what happened on the ramp, but, boy, he came off upside down.
We just got our feedback from the boat. That was not a good one. So here comes Will. Let's see what he does here. He just kind of looks like he totally just, his legs collapsed on him there.
Yeah, it looked like he looked at the ramp, he anticipated it, and then as soon as his feet hit the ramp, they went right behind him. He just totally tripped it.
Yeah, he looked like he was just a little late looking at that ramp and had no movement before with his legs.
Do we have anybody down there working with Will and Brody? We have, is it David or Keith or is anybody down there working with them? Ashley or somebody? So going back to the Keith and Jackson, Keith has to make up some ground, so he has to spread the distance out between him and Jackson in both slalom and jump. He has to gain some ground. Right now, Keith has got a jump score of 23.4, I believe, and I think Jackson's got a score of 22.4. So there's 1 meter separating the two of them in jumping. So Jackson has got to maintain that 1 meter spread or better it, and Keith has got to increase it. Here comes Brody for a second jump. He's coming into the ramp, and he launches that one. That looks like it's better than his first jump. That one looks like it's probably going to be around between 20 and 21 meters. I'm going to guess between 20 and 21 meters for that one, for Brody. The jump is good. It's going to be credit. 20.7 meters. So that puts Brody in the lead, obviously, for the Open Pro division. He's the first jumper. So 20.7 is going to be the standards right now. And William Lee's at 20 meters, and he is in the lead for the international division. And William Lee is going to be competing against Ben Groen and David Small. So he's going to need a lot more than 20 meters. 30 meters is probably not going to be good enough with David around here.
Not the way that things were going yesterday.
And Brody is going to be going up against Mikey Caruso, Jason Lee, Jackson Gerard, and Keith St. Ange. So
we got Tom Warden there asking what kind of boats we're using here to pull the nationals. Tom, these are Sanger DX2s. I believe they're 2015, 2016 models. They are the preferred boat for our barefoot water skiing. They're the only boat that still makes a inboard barefoot hull. And they're great quality boats. They're used at the national championships, world championships next month in Canada. Also, anyone that went to Manny's last night that has lost a pair of sunglasses, we have a pair of white electric shades up here. Swing arm. I don't know what that is. If you've lost your sunglasses, come up here and claim them back.
Okay, there comes Will Lee for his third and final jump. He's got 20 meters on the board. He's competing against Ben Groen, and he's competing against David Small, so he's going to need a lot better than that. Here comes Willen for his third and final jump.
All right, Will, let's see what he's got here. Oh, it's a nice jump, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push past Brody there. I'm going to guess that was right around the low 20 range, high 19s again.
Yeah, he's not competing against Brody. He's competing against you, Mr. Groen. Is that going to be enough is that going to be enough for you?
I hope so. If not, well, he's not really competing. There you go, 19.6.
19.6 meters, so that his 20-meter jump is going to stand. And William Lee right now is in the lead for the international division with Ben Groen and David Small coming up later on in the competition. Right now we got Brody Meskers has got a 20.7-meter jump on the board. He's in the lead right now for the Open Pro division for the U.S. Nationals. And he's got one jump left.
And they're not competing, but Will did just lose the bragging rights competition there to Brody.
And I don't think at 20 meters, neither one of them can be bragging very
well,
much.
hopefully Brody can push that a little further. Both these guys have been training together for the last month at the WBC. They've been doing a lot of skiing with you and training there in the summer. They're right around the same age, I think, as well.
Yeah, they are. They're around the same age. They're great friends. They're competing against each other. These two are going to be a force. They're young. They love the sport. They're going to be around. Brody Meskers is going to be coming down next year to train full-time to get ready for the 2020. So next year I expect some breakthroughs for Brody, and you're going to see a much different skier, I think, going in the next couple of years with Brody Meskers, I believe.
And here he comes now, folks, coming in the ramp for jump number 3, looking to push past that 20.7-meter mark. See what he can do here now. Oh!
That was a better jump.
That was big. That's going to be right around 21s to 22, I'd say.
Yeah, that was definitely a better jump. That was up closer to 22 probably.
I see Rick Meskers commenting on the stream there. Those are Brody's sunglasses. Rick, if I can describe what the sunglasses look like, you've obviously lost them before. Chats is saying he'll take them if no one claims them. Send me your address, Chats. I'll put them in the mail.
So Brody comes off that ramp, waiting for his score, but that was definitely his best jump of the tournament. That's definitely going to be over 21 meters. I'll be in shock if it's not.
21.7 meters.
21.7 meters. 21.7 meters. So that's Brody's best jump of the tournament. Like I said about Brody, I think he is coming down. He's going to be working full-time and training full-time at the WBC next year, more than likely. Training for the 2020 Australian Worlds. And he's going to dedicate himself to try to become an elite skier. And I think you're going to see a major breakthrough in a totally different skier from Brody Meskers in the next couple of years, Ben.
I think so. And now you've got 5 guys in this Open Pro Finals here. Brody just jumped 21.7. Right now, the third highest jump of the event so far. Jason Lee at 21.6. Now, these guys are all capable of jumping a lot more than they have already. But all things considered, 21.7 at this rate looks like a very competitive jump in this Open Pro event.
It does. It does, actually. The jump scores were very low yesterday, actually. And actually, to the point, I was watching it, and all the jump scores were low. And I thought maybe there was something wrong with the meterage system or the jump until David Small went out there and jumped.
Yeah, he kind of smothered that rumor.
And then Smallsy went out there and he kind of ruined that train of thought of mine.
That shut things down real quick.
Yeah.
Barefoot Brucey's going to be on the banks to watch in 2020. I look forward to meeting you.
Who do we have in the water now?
This is Mike Caruso coming in for jump number 1. Oh!
Whoa!
That's a nice opening jump for Mike there as well.
That's going to be right around 20 to 21 meters. That's going to be close.
I think so.
20 to 21 meters, I believe. Brody Meskers get the leading jump right now, 21.7.
How many jumps is Mike Caruso planning on taking, do you know?
20.1 meters. 20.1 meters for Mikey Caruso. So Mikey, right now we get Brody Meskers in the gold medal position, and Mikey Caruso in the silver medal position as of right now. But we still got other jumpers coming up to try to take those scores away. To try to take those positions away from these guys, obviously. So once again, we get as we're waiting here for the next boat to get down there. So once again, let me go over what's going on with Keith and Jackson, because this is going to be the exciting thing in the tournament. Keith St. Onge has won more national championships than any other skier in the history of the U.S. Nationals in the Open Pro Division. I think the score is 17. I think he's won 17, I believe. I don't know how many of those have been in a row, but a whole lot of those have been in a row. Jackson Gerard right now is 30 overall points ahead of Keith coming into this final competition. So not only are they competing for the individual titles, but they're competing for the overall. So Keith has got a jump score of 23.4. Jackson's got a jump score of 22.4. Jackson's got to try to maintain that spread of 1 meter or less. And Keith needs to separate that score a little further out to gain some more overall points. And the same goes for slalom. Jackson's got a score on the board of 18.5, and Keith has got a score on the board of 19.7. So Keith has got a 1.2 slalom score cushion. Jackson's got to keep that spread at 1.2 or less. And Keith has got to narrow that, spread that out a little further out. He's got to increase that to about 2. So this is going to be a very tight, interesting competition between Keith and Jackson. We've got the legend of the past that's trying to hold on at 40 years of age, and we get the future that's trying to bump him off. Is Keith going to pass that torch, or is Keith going to hang on? He's going to hang on for one more time, one more year. And talking about Keith, look who walks in. Here comes Keith.
Yep, getting ready now. It's quite the story. I said on the dock the other day after he skied, it was like skiing against Scarpa again at the Nationals.
All right, real quick, Keith. Here comes Jason for jump number 1. Jason's in this Open Pro contention.
Nice jump. Oh, he doesn't hold on.
Man, that
was a nice jump.
That would have definitely been a competitive big jump there.
That would have put him in the lead.
Yeah, that definitely would have put him in the lead. He won last year, right? So he's kind of defending his title right now, Mr. Lee. But yeah, back to Jackson and I. That's a pretty good one. After he stomped his huge run, it brought memories back at U.S. Nationals about skiing against Ron. Ron was, Mr. Consistent, and him and I went back and forth, always putting the pressure on me. And there it was. That many years later, pressure back on me again at the U.S. Nationals, and it was good. He killed Smallsy and I, but we both skied. Smallsy and I were still happy with our skiing. We skied good. But the big question is, I'm sure you figured this out, Swamp. What is we know Jackson's 30 points ahead of me for the overall, but the big thing is how many points per half a meter or meter is the overall right now? So if I go out there and jump, and Ben probably has it figured out.
Well, it's hard to say, Keith, because both you and Jackson, neither of you have jumped what you're capable of jumping.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, because as soon as you start jumping more, that whole system changes. If you were comparing yourself to Smallsy's 29-meter jump, there was a constant top jump, then we'd have a better idea.
So what about if he doesn't improve and I improve by a meter?
Well, and I didn't figure out the jumping part, but I know in slalom you need to gain another half a point on him roughly, and it'll be about dead heat.
Okay. Yeah. And he can still improve on that as well.
Exactly. He's got to keep the spreads where they're at, and you've got to find some more spread there somewhere along the line.
Mikey Caruso, jump number 2. Wow.
Nice jump. Nice jump.
Beautiful jump there from Mikey.
That's going to take the lead right there, Ben.
I think he's going to push past Brody.
That's going to take the lead. That's got to be at least.
I would say that's low 22s.
I would say 22 to 23, yeah.
Jason Lee's first jump was a 23 even. So Jason's putting it out there, 22.4.
22.4. So Mikey Caruso takes the number 1 spot right now. He moves ahead of Brody Meskers. He puts Brody Meskers at the number 2 spot, which moves. Brody is, that's all. It's just the two of them, right?
Jason's got a 0 so far. So.
Jason's got a 0. So right now, Brody Meskers moves down to the number 2 spot. Mikey Caruso takes the number 1 spot.
I see Mikey.
And Mikey is done. He's going to call it right there. He's happy with that jump. And he's going to leave it right there at 22.4 meters. And he is done jumping for the day. Competition. For the overall, for the individual awards, Mikey Caruso right now is in number 1 spot for the gold medal at 22.4. Jason Lee did not land his first jump, but it was 23 meters. After Jason Lee, we have Jackson Gerard and Keith St. Ange. So much on the line between these two guys.
So we got Mike Lee on the live stream. Cadence is cheering on Daddy. Let's go, Dad, Jason. Come on, your family's watching. They want to see you put a big one out there. They want to see you defend that title.
Jason Lee is the defending jump champion right now in the Open Pro division. So he has a title to defend.
That's right. And, you know, it's funny. That was Jason Lee's a world champion in slalom back in 2000. That was his first ever Open Pro gold medal. He was a world champion before a national champion, which says something about the caliber of skiers in the U.S. over the last 17 years. Well, that's Keith St. Ange. Yeah, I'll be after Jackson.
What's the matter? What happened? So we are waiting for Jason Lee's second jump. I'm not sure what the delay is, but we're waiting for Jason Lee's second jump. Mikey Caruso is done, which means that Jackson Gerard, I guess, is Jackson the next skier?
Yeah, he's swimming out.
Jackson Gerard is getting ready to swim out.
Here comes Jason Lee. This is his second jump. The score to beat is 22.4. He's a seeded score for the first round, 21.6. He just sent a 23.0. Can he land a big jump? Oh, comes down heavy on that landing.
He's coming down on his butt. His feet are not taking the impact. His feet are in front of him, and he's landing on his butt. So that's a second goose egg for Jason.
Yeah,
the
look at
pressure's
Jason's jump here on the video replay. You see him coming down. I mean, way out. Boom, straight to the butt there.
Jackson Gerard. Jackson Gerard. Jackson. Eyes up. Wait and slow, buddy.
So when you shout at people jumping, don't shout on the mic.
Oh, sorry.
The live stream blows out. Alan Turcott's watching from Buffalo.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to holler on a mic giving instructions, I guess. Alan Turcott, Buffalo, New York. Alan Turcott is an old Barefoot buddy of mine from way back in the day in the early 80s, back in New Hampshire when Keith started everything off. And he's from Buffalo, New York, and he's looking in. Bob LaRue is watching. He's out traveling the world right now, and he's watching from somewheres out there. And Ben Groen, my mic partner, is starting to get ready too because he's got to take on David Small. All right, here comes, is this Jackson getting ready for his first jump? This is a big jumping competition between Jackson and Keith. Not only are they competing for the gold medal, they are competing for the overall. Ben Groen, are you ready to take down David Small today?
I am more than ready to take down David Small. Every time I ski against Dave, I'm ready to take him down. I just haven't quite been ready enough.
Here comes Jackson for his first jump. 22.4 meters yesterday is what he has to beat. That's a nice jump, but that's not going to do it. That's probably going to be around 21 meters probably. That's probably around 21 meters, so that's what Keith is wants. Huh? That's his first. Yeah. Here comes Jackson. Let me watch the video. He's coming in. 20.8. 20.8. 20.8. He's got to keep his shoulders a little further back. He's got to be a little dirtier with his feet. Hey, Billy Glenn, how you doing, sir? Billy Glenn is showed up at the site. Rick Moyes has jumped in. So that was, what was it, 20.8? So that puts, right now, Jackson is number 3 right now. You still got Mikey Caruso holding the number 1 spot at 22.4. You've got Brody Meskers at 21.7. You got Jason Lee, who has not landed a jump yet. So he's out of it. So you got in third place right now, Jackson Gerard at 20.8. I got it right there, Ryan. I can't. So we got Jason Lee. The pressure's on Jason Lee. He has to land a jump. He has to land a jump. Here comes Jason Lee for his third and final jump.
Ladies and gentlemen, your defending pro champion and jump
He
event.
launches it, and he doesn't land
pops
it.
that handle. That was a big jump for Jason, man. Just couldn't hang on. Folks, that was a 24.1 meter fall for Jason. That would have catapulted him into first place. So Jason misses the 24-1, and he gives up his national title in the jump event.
Jason is out of the competition. He's not going to medal. He's 0 for 3. So right now we got Mikey Caruso at the number 1 spot.
That means right now Mikey Caruso is guaranteed a medal in the jump event. Whether that be bronze, silver, or gold, we're still to find out.
Still to find out. And we got Jackson Gerard coming in for his number 2 jump. And Jackson has got to he has got to increase his score from yesterday at 22.4. Otherwise than that, Keith is going to have a great opportunity to move ahead for the overall. So this is interesting, guys. I'll tell you. A lot on the line here in a lot of different ways.
The general's perched on the end of the dock there.
All right, so Jackson's got 2 things he has to. Right now he's got a score of 22.4, which is the number 1 score of the tournament for Mikey Caruso. And that's his PB yesterday of 22.4. So that's the magic number that Jackson's got to beat, 22.4. Here he comes for his second jump. He's cutting out. He's lining up. Wow, he launches that one, and he hangs on. Wow, that was a big jump.
Like I said, it was in the high 22s to 23 there.
That's probably going to be around 23 meters. That's probably going to be 23 plus possibly, which would put him in the lead and help him out for the overall with Keith. 23 meters flat. 23 meters flat. .23 meters flat. So that's a big score for Jackson. That helps him out a lot. That puts him in the number 1 position, in the gold medal position so far with Keith St. Ange. But that also adds 0.6 to the score of yesterday, which helps him out for the overall, which means that Keith has to pad his score of yesterday by at least 0.6 to maintain pace.
Keith is the senior world record holder in jump with a score of 26.6. I would highly advise that he tries to do that again today.
Yeah, Keith and Jackson, everything's on the line. They have nothing to lose at this stage. They've got nothing to lose. They've got to let it all out in the line. They are in a fierce battle. They are in a fierce battle for the overall and also for the gold medal here. Here comes Keith for his first jump. Keith's score yesterday is 23.4 meters. Keith is going to have some patience, wait for that ramp. Here he comes. And he doesn't land his first jump, and that was not going to do it anyways. That was probably about 22 meters.
So that was 21.5 to 22 there, Swamp. That's definitely not enough. He needs to at least jump by that 23 mark. Mikey Caruso right now, 22.4.
So, Keith's number one jump is not going to do it. He didn't land it. I'm watching Keith's replay jump here. Let's see what happened to him. He was really, really early. Keith. Hey, Keith. You were really early, buddy. All right. Jackson's got one more jump. Jackson's in the lead right now, and you've got KSO with two more jumps. A lot is on the line with these two guys. One's for the gold medal in this jumping event, and two, it is for the overall. The pressure is on both these guys. Jackson has got nothing to lose here. Anything smaller than 23 meters does him absolutely no good whatsoever. Anything less than 23 meters, he might as well just go throw it in a garbage can. And here comes Jackson for his third and final jump. This is huge. This is big for him and big for Keith. Here comes Jackson. He's coming into the ramp. And he is out of control. He's early. He doesn't land it. So 23 meters is going to stand. So Keith St. Ange has got two jumps left. One, he's got to be 23 meters to win the gold medal. And two, he's got to be 23.4 of yesterday to help his overall score. Actually, Jackson has padded the score up from 22.4 to 23. So Keith has to jump at least 24 meters to hold 30 points behind in the overall. He needs over 24 meters to gain ground on Jackson for the overall. This is some exciting times, everybody. 23.3? A 23.3 meter fall for Jackson, but it doesn't matter. It was a goose egg. So, exciting times. And then after KSO, we're gonna have the international battle between Ben Groen and David Small. David Small, folks, is a complete animal. He is a beast. You could put the Superman cape on David Small, and it still would not do him any justice. Here comes Keith for jump number 2. Everything is on the line here, folks. He is coming in. He's got to wait. Nice jump. Oh, and he doesn't hold on. And that was probably somewhere around 23 meters. The pressure is on KSO. 23.2 meters. Oh, that was a guess. 22.7? 23.7 meter fall for Keith. 23.7 meter fall for Keith. That would have been enough for the gold medal, but he didn't hang on. Keith, you got to keep your eyes up. Keep the handle up. Eyes up, handle up, dude. Don't.
Pedernales Construction is a proud sponsor of the 2018 U.S. Barefoot Nationals and Team Ehlers.
But if Keith does not jump larger than 24 meters, he will lose ground to Jackson for the overall medal. So there's an awful lot on the line here. This is exciting times. This is your 17-time national champion, Keith St. Onge. Who has a rewrite? Keith. Here comes Keith. Here comes Keith. I heard he may have a rewrite. He launches this. That's a nice jump. And he hangs on. He hangs on. That's going to win the gold medal, I believe. That's going to win the gold medal, I believe. He hung on to it. That's going to be over 23 meters. The question is, how big is it going to be? And it's going to help him for the overall. 23.2 meters. 23.2 meters. So Keith St. Onge is going to be your national gold jump champion. But that does not help him for the overall. All right, Keith is going to get, he's got an optional re-ride from a second jump, which he fell. So he's got 23.2 meter jump on the board. He's won the gold medal in the jump event. But he's going to take his reride because he needs to gain more points than that because he's competing for the overall with Jackson. And if he doesn't improve his score, he's going to lose ground in the jump event to Jackson. So Keith's going to take one more ride to see if he can improve on that score of 23.2. Here comes Ben Groen for his second jump. Here comes Ben into the ramp. He's got a 23.8. And that right there looks like a decent jump around the same spot. He's probably going to be around 23.5, 24 meters. That's not going to be enough to compete against David Small, Ben Groen. Just throwing that out there. 23.7 meters for Ben Groen. 23.7 meters for Ben Groen. So, Ben Groen, if you can hear me, that ain't going to cut it against David Small, sir. A 30-point deficit to Jackson. He needs over 24 meters to cut into that 30-point lead Jackson has over him for the gold medal for the overall. Keith St. Ange is doing everything he can to hang on against Jackson Gerard on each event. Is this going to be a changing of the guard from the legend to the future, or is Keith St. Ange going to be able to hang on for one more national championship? Yes, they have another round of slalom, another round of tricks. Ben Groen, that's not going to cut it against David Small, dude. You need another 3 meters. Your feet are going behind you. Here comes Keith for the third and final jump. Nice jump. That's a nice jump. That's probably going to be around 24. That's probably going to be in the high 23s to 24. It's going to be interesting. We'll have to wait and tell. 24.5 meters. 24.5 meters. So Keith St. Ange cuts into Jackson Gerard's lead. Keith St. Ange cuts into Jackson Gerard's lead with a 24.5 meter jump.
1, 2, 3.
This is going to come down to the coming in, and it looked like he was slightly late. And he froze on the ramp. How much was it? What was the fall? 24.6 meter fall for David. 24.6 meter fall. Sometimes, you could try too hard. And I think Smallsy came in here. He has nothing to lose. He's going for the record. And I think maybe he was trying too hard there. He looked like he was slightly late coming into the ramp. And when he hit the ramp, he kind of froze. And instead of pressing it up, he kind of froze. Well, Ben, you're still hanging on to the number one spot. 23.8 meters, big guy. Smallsy's got 2 more jumps.
Yeah, he's got 2 more jumps, but he's got a history of only needing 1. And if it came down to jump 3, I don't matter what it took, I think he'd hold on to that thing.
David Small, folks. One of the strongest human beings you'll ever meet. Mentally, physically, it doesn't matter. The man is a beast. The man is an animal. On the water, off the water, it does not matter. David is the ultimate competitor, 6-time overall world champion, won more overall titles, or have won more gold medals. You tell me what to do, and I shall do it. You tell me what to change, and I shall change it. That's his attitude. All right, we got over 100 people watching this right now. That is awesome, from all over the world. Here comes David. All eyes on David. David on the left-hand side coming into the ramp. Jump number 2, folks. And he flies that one away. That's not a big jump for him, but that's going to be the biggest jump of the day. That's probably around 25 meters, which is big for everybody else, but it's small for David Small. What's that? $24.2 for Smallsy. 24.2. Smallsy acting very human-like today. Yeah. What do you? Open woman, round 2 slalom. Open woman, round 2 slalom. Please go down to the starting dock. Thank you. All right, Smallsy. Don't try to force it. Smallsy, don't try to force it. Let the jump do the work. Just wait. Have patience. 24.2 for David Small. KSO. Came through in the clutch. The pressure's on, big guy. KSO is your national champion, and he cut into the overall lead for Jackson Gerard. Keith is not used to working for these championships like he is this time around. There is a white Audi SS blocking the boat ramp. A white Audi SS blocking the boat ramp. Please move your vehicle. We need access to the boat ramp. So if you don't move it, they're going to push it into the water. So if you have a white Audi SS, please move it ASAP. All right, here comes David Small for his third and final jump. He's won the gold medal for the international division. But, he's not happy with that score, 24.2. It does not make David happy. Here he comes. That's a better jump. That's a better jump. That's out there. That's probably nothing close to yesterday. But that's probably going to be somewhere over 25 meters, I guess. I'll wait for the score. $25.4 meters. 25.4 meters for David Small. That's a very respectable jump. It's a little bit on the small side for Smallsy, but very respectable for everybody else on this planet. All right, that wraps up the jumping competition. We are going to be moving into the slalom event. We're going to have the open woman slalom. Girls, go down there. And we're going to be